Alright, so we are being asked to find I to the 925th power. And so I made this little circle. I to the first is I to the second is -1, I to the third is -I to the fourth is 1, and then it starts repeating itself. So I to the fifth is also I to the sixth is also -1, I to the seventh is -I, and I to the eighth is I to the eighth is 1, and then it's going to go 9, 10, 11, 12. So one way you could do this is notice these are always divisible by 4. And so anything that's divisible by 4 will equal 1. So let's take I to the 925, which is obviously not divisible by 4. But what is 925 divided by 4? Well, let's see. 925 divided by 4 is 231.25. So we're not going to write that as a decimal. So what we can do is say that 925 is equal to 4 times 231 plus something. So let's see what 4 times 231 is. That's 924. So we need plus 1. What that means is that if I go around this 231 times, I end up here. But I need to go around one more time, so I'm going to end up here. So I can say that I to the 925 is I. You see how I did that? Another option is you could go to your TI-83 calculator, if you have one, type it in, and the higher numbers you go up, you're going to have to ignore the stuff at the beginning, but usually the very last one is the answer. So plus what? So I would say I. So the answer to I to the 925th is I. That's another. Another, third method would be to recognize that I squared is equal to -1. And so you take I 925 and you write that as I squared to some power. So let me think, what's 925 divided by 2? 462.5, so I put 462. And then 462 times 2 is 924, so I need one more I. So that'd be 924 plus 1 is 925. And then I know I squared is -1. And if you take a negative number times itself an even number of times, you get +1. So you get 1i. So that's yet a third method to get the same answer. You do not have to show all three methods, but those are three different ways that you could all get I. On the multiple choice test, it's either going to be I, -1, -I, or +1. That's all it can be.